7:03, we'll call this meeting to order. If you guys don't mind standing up with the pledge, the flag, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do the roll call, Matt, please.
Sure. Bender. Keaton.
Here.
Fuller.
Here.
Abbott.
Here.
James.
Here.
Bender is absent.
All right. The procedure for remote access, I am not going to read it in full. I think we all know it by now. Please be civil. Keep the answers, keep your questions, to a certain minimum. If it's really lengthy, you should try to get on the agenda. So with that, I'm going to move on. We need a motion to set the agenda.
I'll make the motion that we set it as written.
I'll second it.
So that was a motion made by Tom Fuller, seconded by Ken Abbott. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Matt, you get that?
Yes, thank you.
Moving on. We're on to public comment. Ready?
Is it okay if I
Sure.
comment publicly?
Yeah, it's public comment time, so.
Great, I appreciate that. So I'm Hillary Solomon with the Poultney Meadow Natural Resources Conservation District. I will just take 2 minutes. So I'm just here to follow up. I came maybe a year ago and talked to you a little bit about a study we were doing. I've been working on water quality projects in the Flower Brook watershed, which is sort of the Little Village Road area, and then down toward Pollitt. And we had just started the stream assessment study, looking at sort of the materials in the stream bed and the characteristics of the stream, and we were trying to characterize why so much sediment was moving down into the town of Pollitt. It's a concern we've had for a long time. And so I think at that point we'd gotten back some results that a lot of those glacially delivered materials are pretty fine, that there's not a lot of cobbles and boulders in Flower Brook, and so that material is just easy to transport. So when it rains hard, the material moves downstream, and any changes on the landscape can kind of destabilize the streams and they erode. So we now went through the second phase of that work, which was trying to identify areas within the upper watershed where we could maybe work with landowners to implement projects to try and sort of stabilize the stream and keep any flooding. If we could, for example, add woody material up in the headwaters of the stream where there's not a lot of flooding conflict, and retain waters and gravel up in the headwaters instead of letting it all just flow so quickly through, that might help the situation. So we went through, walked all of the sections of the stream, identified a bunch of projects, then identified the ones that might be easiest to get funding for, or ones where landowners might be amenable. Came up with a list of 13 projects. You guys will laugh because the culvert, the Purchase Brook culvert that we've talked about for years, of course, is on the list. But so we ended up with, it was 7 projects in Pollitt and 6 in Danby that kind of came to this sort of one-page description, and we'll just continue to work with landowners to see if people are interested in doing any of the projects. We are working with a funding source where we can, it's for the Lake Champlain phosphorus cleanup work that's happening. And the idea is that if the town does any work, any culvert replacement work up on those roads, Little Village Road, Green Hill Road, well, it's actually, if you do any culvert replacement work anywhere in town, not just that watershed, there's a phosphorus reduction potentially associated with those culvert replacements, and we can use funding to pay for that phosphorus reduction. It's not quite like a phosphorus trading program, but the funds are really easy to get. We administer them locally. So as you have culverts that you identify for replacement, especially on perennial streams or streams that run most of the year, it might be good to check in. Like if I could meet with you and we could go over the list of culverts you're looking at, and I could come back with some potential numbers for, like, I might be able to contribute $8,000 toward that culvert replacement. So that's we were partly looking for these projects, stream restoration projects for that funding source, but a lot of the identified projects up on Flower Brook are those driveway culverts that are so small. And we can work with private landowners also. So I just wanted to update you about that. I think that was like maybe a bright spot coming out of this. I don't think we are gonna solve the flooding problem in Pollitt, but
Now, the driveway culverts, and all driveway culverts in the town are owned by the landowner.
yeah. So this funding can be used in conjunction with private landowners. So that's new. Forest roads can also be like improvements to forest roads, so they aren't eroding and gullying and ending up with a bunch of sediment in little streams. That can also come under this funding. And I don't know quite how the state is gonna manage this, but there's maintenance funds available too.
But this phosphorus reduction fund, this is for everything that flows to Flower Brook or,
Well, to Lake Champlain. So I was focused, when I was originally talking to you about this project on Flower Brook, but Otter Creek, which is your other watershed, flows into Champlain too. So you're all in Danby, I think, unless it goes, you have anything that goes to the Battenkill, everything that flows north would be covered by that grant.
100% goes
Yeah,
north here.
so anything going into Flower Brook, and on my side, you would talk to me about it, and we work with the Rutland Regional Planning Commission. Anything going into Otter Creek is the Addison County Planning Commission. They're managing that watershed. And that would be Mike Winslow. And I was just thinking about the Purchase Brook the other day, and it might be time, like, there's been some funding, even though the federal funding is like getting a little shakier maybe for environmental work, the AOP work seems to still have funding, so I was thinking I should look at that.
And you're talking back on the bridge.
Yeah, I just, because I'm here, it reminds me of the bridge.
The only
I haven't
issue,
thought about for years.
and as we said, I mean, I think the board was 100% in favor if we could get the funding on it.
Yeah.
Well, we
But-
also had to make sure that there was water available for the fire
And
department.
that, yeah, and, but right now, our concern, or that we have, and I guess we should add it to the new businesses, we have a bridge on the Brook Road that the state wants to replace.
Okay.
That we're liable for 5% on that one right now. So, not to say that that one isn't able to be done at some point too, is we're gonna be strapped just paying for the one that here, I think it's Bridge 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's down here too.
Yeah.
So,
Which is Bridge 7?
first one, once you go past like Junie Sumner's and stuff,
Okay.
first one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's dangerous.
I'm trying.
And I use Junie Sumner's, and Sue and Ken and I might be the only ones that knew it.
Past Easy Street, the first bridge past Easy Street.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I try not to ask landowners or municipalities for contributions, so, but I haven't thought about that bridge recently. It sounds like you have other things to worry about right now, bridge related.
Yep.
That was it. I have, okay, the other thing I guess I wanted to say too is very quickly, and it's really hard to see, but we have a map of the Flower Brook, and it kind of is this line here. And you'll see it's, this is supposed to be like 2 by 3 feet, which is why it's hard to see here. But you'll just see that there's orange and red segments, and that just means there were quite a few projects identified, a lot of opportunities identified along those sections. So we'll reach out to landowners and ask, if we can go down and walk the stream with them, and we could help them sort of point out opportunities where we could, again, just do things to make the stream more natural, slow the flow down a little, hold the gravel in the bank, try to build the bed back up a little bit. So there's a map, and then I've got the one-page sheets. You'll probably recognize all the projects on it. And I can send that electronically too. Who would I email that to?
Probably to the clerk would be the best, and then she could distribute.
Danby.
Oh, the clerk.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yes.
You guys good with that?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for the short notice.
No, it's fine. Any other public comment?
Online, do we have any public comment? We have Nat Smith. Greg is chairing the meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
And I do know that Matt has a camera tonight, so it would be very nice to see what's going on. Like the map that was just shown, and it's all a lot easier to understand.
I can certainly try to do that. I have trouble typing, but I can point it if the select board is okay with that.
What was that?
I couldn't hear what she said, so.
My speaker's up all the way, so that I can't fix.
Yeah.
So she's saying, I have a camera, which I have on, I'm waving, but would the select board be okay with me pointing in your direction?
You can type and.
I will do my best to accommodate. I'm not sure how much you'll get, but we'll try it. Here we go.
That's fine.
How's that? Is that progress?
That's progress. I can see 3 of the select board.
Okay.
So Steve is spared.
Yeah, Steve's hiding in the corner. The only one who isn't present is Brad.
So did she have anything other than
Do you have
that?
anything else other than the camera?
Well, I did see the acronym CMS. I assume that means Courier Memorial School.
Yes.
It would have been nice to see that spelled out. I had sort of really the town's involvement and discussions about what's happening at the school, so I look forward to that report.
School report.
Yep.
Yep.
Anything else in that?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, do we have anyone else online who would like to ask any questions? Okay, I don't see any hands, so I think we're ready to go.
Okay, we'll move on to, take a motion to adopt the minutes from the November meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Haynes and Fuller.
You guys all looked at them?
You find any errors?
No?
Okay, then
I'm good with it, you guys. Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Are you all set, Matt, or?
All set?
Okay. Caitlin, treasurer's report, please?
I don't have a whole lot to report, but I just wanted to follow up about where we stand with the audit. I spoke to Darlene at NIMRIC. She said that the bank reconciliations are done. There is still some training and cleanup to be done, but she thinks by the end of this month we could provide a somewhat clean balance sheet and reach out to Sullivan & Powers if that's who we want to use, to see if they're willing to schedule the audit, but it probably wouldn't be available until the spring and not likely before the town meeting, because they are pretty busy, so it might be a little while before we can schedule. And then we just ordered new computers for the listers and myself, so that shouldn't be an expense for a while, which will be nice. And we will be working on paying the appropriations that we talked about.
So what was the status on the computers that will be in for the budget? I'm sorry, I missed
For
it.
computers?
Yeah.
We just ordered new
Oh,
computers.
they ordered.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How many computers you order?
2. So, well, Janice got one, I think, a couple
Right,
months ago,
right,
but
yeah.
the listers and myself just got new computers.
So I wonder where that's coming out of.
I would say it must came out of these. I don't know if we need to look it up right now, but.
No.
So, as far as the day-to-day stuff, how many auditors do we have now?
One right now, but we just hired Tara.
Okay, so where are we at on actual auditing with our auditors now?
So Lana's been doing like once a month, she'll come in and review the previous month's things. She'll review the bank statements, the AP, the payroll, and all the deposits we've made.
So right now,
She just came.
could I say September or October, she's audited?
She's just finished, November.
Oh, she's finished.
Yep.
So we have internally audited
Yes, we're.
all the way up to November.
Yep. She just came in yesterday to do that. So yesterday, yeah.
Has Tara been coming in?
I haven't met her yet. I think she was potentially supposed to come yesterday, but we didn't see her, so I'm not sure if Lana had confirmed her coming or if they had actually set a date. I think she may have reached out to her to let her know when she was coming yesterday, but I don't know if she heard back. And I have not heard anything from Sarah. Since I have been here, aside from when Matt started,
Yeah, my
Lana has
experience
been,
was, she's tough to get a response.
Lana has been the only one that has been here every month to audit.
Well, hopefully Tara will give her some assistance
Yeah, hopefully.
at some point, maybe the next month, we'll talk about the audit.
Yeah, no, I
No,
know
I mean,
we're
that's-
catching up from the
Right.
past, but I'd like to make sure that we're staying with the
Right.
current stuff too.
Correct, but, yeah, we'll put something together for the next meeting for discussing the actual audit.
Okay.
All right? You good?
That's all I got.
All right. We'll move on to the Curry Memorial School.
Nope, we got transfer station.
Oh, sorry, Jesus, I skipped over. Sorry about that, Steve.
I was good with you
We'll go on to
skipping
the
over
transfer
it.
station. No, that's, we don't want to do that.
I mean, I don't really know what Brad thinks. I'm gonna update from last month. We're looking at roughly 70,000 to have Phil brought in and compacted for site work. Roughly another 20,000 for concrete. That's not gonna bring power in to the, where we need it or set up a building. And then moving on from there, we would have to start the permitting process. We'll have to have an environmental hearing if we want to go that way. And then before we decide too much further, are we going to have, is this something that we're going to have Cliffy's building and deal with some of the issues we've got going on here, or are we going to consider enclosing the building? Or enclosing the whole, making it so that the compactors are inside, we're not dealing with wind and garbage being blown.
My understanding was what we're trying to do is feel out what the, we had we were talking about a couple different sites to start with, right? Narrowing things down what you have, and then I think we're trying to get an idea of the cost and permitting different issues. And trying to determine if it's actually feasible to
Well,
move
we've
forward.
determined the west side is not
Correct.
an option.
Right.
Where we are now, I'm 90% positive we're gonna have landowner opposition on all sides. The only one we won't be fighting with, I think, will be the fire department. That's just my opinion. We only had the one meeting so far. We have not reached out to adjoining landowners or anybody else, because just where we're at a starting point is if we reach out to adjoining landowners, then we're dealing with the whole conflict of interest because we're not reaching out to everybody.
Yeah, I guess to me, I'm just trying to make sure, I was kind of looking to see at some point the costs, what are we looking at for permitting and so on, so at some point we can get something brought back to us, we gotta decide, because the issue doesn't go away. The issues we've identified with the transfer station here don't go away because this might be a difficult spot, so then if we decide we have to have something to say, we're not gonna pursue
Right.
four
we at
corners,
least gotta make a decision on
if
it
we're gonna
because,
pursue it or
yeah,
not, and then, you know, if we feel we have enough, enough information to make that decision now, then, or soon, but I guess,
I'm very unclear. I don't know why. I know there's a problem out there with a lot of traffic, etc. But the town offices, could they be moved down to the Courier land and keep this the same?
I was actually in hopes that we could move the transfer station down there, but it's my understanding that Courier School is not going to close
let's
as a
not get too
school.
far, let's not get too far ahead here, but so.
I guess,
Stick to the
yeah, let's stick with that. You wanna stay with, that's the update for the,
That's the update for now.
are you
I'll
planning
send
on-
an email out to see.
I mean, I would like to see a little bit more on the, what's involved for permitting, what do we need? Is there expense, rough ideas for expense, whatever, just something so we can get brought back to us to make a decision. Are we gonna pursue that site? Or are we gonna say, that's not feasible? I guess that's what I was expecting. I can't speak for these two, but I'm hoping for.
I had read that Courier would now, they're entertaining the thought of it being a school for special education.
We'll get there.
Okay, okay,
As soon as we finish this one.
okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, I guess we do realize that we would have to get, Act 250, would it be on that, or is?
I don't know if it would be an Act 250. I know we'd have to have an environmental hearing on it because it's gonna be a transfer station, but I don't know when Act 250 kicks in as far as.
yeah, I don't know, so I guess my question, can you guys, as that committee, can you try to look into what we would or would not need to pursue for permits?
Yep.
And that way, that adds something to what you can bring forward to us, so we can hopefully,
Can I talk to you this weekend?
You can talk to me tonight if you want.
well, be the resource, yeah.
I'm not gonna guarantee this weekend, because if it goes to snowing, you're not talking to me.
Sorry. Yeah. so
Yeah,
you can
I don't
reach
know.
out-
I haven't talked to you since the summer.
Huh?
I've not talked to you since the summer about this. I was just wondering what's going on.
You're gonna reach out to the, and hopefully, okay.
I'll send an email out and see what we can come up with.
You guys good with that?
I'm good.
Kenny? Yep. Okay, all right. On to Courier. So, I attended the December 2nd Concord Green meeting, which was actually held remotely because of the storm. And they actually, at that meeting, they voted not to, the school is closing, but they are not selling the school or offering it back to the town of Danby at this point. And, what they're looking to do right now, and they're in their planning stages, is looking to utilize Courier Memorial School as some form of a special education, I'll call it a center, but for like the southwest region, which would be, I guess I'd say Rutland, Bennington counties. So there was some different stuff discussed. I actually then, a couple days later, I actually had a call with Randy, the superintendent, to ask some questions on that, and trying to get an idea of timeline. Like, they're pursuing this, nothing set in stone for this special education project, but it's something they're pursuing. And she felt that they would have an answer back to the town of Danby by December of 2026 as to whether that was gonna move forward and they kept possession of the school, or that project was not gonna happen, and the school would then, and the property would be offered to the town. So that's December 2026, potentially waiting kind of in a limbo for the town.
So, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So you're saying they're gonna close it next June?
It's closing as a school to our kids
And
June
what is,
26th.
who's gonna maintain the building for the,
The BRS, well, it's Concord Green, but supposedly it's gonna be, they're transferring some of that maintenance dollars to the special education fund. And if it goes forward through the way that the board was discussing for this special ed center, that would be out of the special education funds.
so it may sit as a dead building with no tax generated for them to decide what they want to do with it.
They are not gonna offer that property to the town right now. And that was voted on by the Taconic and Green Board December 2nd.
And not being used as a public building, it should go on the tax rolls then.
So, I can't, they still own it.
Yeah, but, I mean,
I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a
It's-
lawyer, but they
Yeah, I
still
see
own the
what you're
building.
saying, then we should be able to tax it then.
well, it's not being used for any good
Right.
for,
But this, I'm not saying, they still own it. They haven't like,
I mean, I'm good with them owning it, but I'm just saying that there's potential that they should have to pay tax on it.
yeah,
I mean, I'm good with people owning property in town. I just like to see their fair share of taxes paid.
I understand, I'm just not sure that that's gonna, I mean,
I'm just bringing that up for discussion amongst the board. It's not, it's just saying that, good, they want to own it. I just feel that we should look at why it's not going to be paying taxes or if it's going to pay taxes.
I can't answer that question, Tom. What I can also say is you discussed more about if and when this property did get offered to the town, and we accepted it, that we had to keep that property as town property for at least 5 years. If we tried to sell that property within 5 years, then the town is liable and has to pay the board, the T&G board back or the union back for any capital improvements or investments made from the time that the Taconic and Green Board was created.
Well,
To the day
back
of
again, there's
transfer.
nothing saying the town wants it.
No,
I'm just saying,
all I'm
saying
spelling out
that
is what.
I see a property that if it's not being used to educate kids or used as a public building, that it should be on the tax rolls. And they can keep it all they want. As long as they're paying tax on it, they can let it sit there forever. It's just the fact that they're basically saying we're gonna keep it and it's gonna be no good to the town of Danby. And it's kind of in the center of our town, or at least it's a
Right.
major part of our town.
And there were some members of the board that brought up the fact that right now, currently the school is used for community events such as bingo and different things. And my understanding is that will probably continue at this point. So I'm passing on the information, Tom. I'm not, you can.
Yeah, no, I'm just putting it out in public that I'm good with them keeping it as, if it's not being used for anything, that I think that we should find out about taxing it.
Yeah. Well, you can reach out to the BRSU and bring that up to them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a ways out, but it's gonna happen here.
No, and in January, they're gonna provide the town with more information on operating costs and some facility reports and different things to provide information to us as to the condition of the building and different things, so on. There was some other information put out about rough annual operating expenses for the school, if you care, because that's obviously.
No, I did see that,
It's, you know, we saw that for roughly $60,000 a year annually for operating expenses currently. But they're gonna provide out more information to the town, middle of January, on other improvements that have been made and facility reports and different things, to give us information.
And when are they doing that?
That is in January of this year, or, sorry, 2026. So
Yeah,
right
which is
now-
January
Yeah.
this year.
Yep, so we've actually, well, it's still 25, but anyways.
Yeah, but this,
Yes.
in
yes.
another month.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had actually put it under the planning commission to look at different alternatives and things at a prior meeting, so I still believe that even though the building's not being sold right now, I think they should continue with their work, because December is still not that far away, if it gets offered back to the town in December. So I think they should still carry on with what they were tasked to do previously.
So you're saying the planning commission?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys agree with that, or?
Oh, no, I think that's a great idea.
Because my understanding is there's been some interest from different people in town, and they're looking into things, and they're gonna present something to the planning commission in January, at the January meeting, regarding what their efforts have been to try to help find a way, if that comes to pass at the school, you know, the property's offered, that there might be they're looking at funding opportunities, different things, and so on. And they're gonna report something to the planning commission in January, so. That's what I have to comment on that.
And we're not actually gonna get a sell idea for a year out, right? So,
Randy said they would not be able to provide the town of Danby with an answer as to whether their special education project or idea was gonna happen or not until probably December of 2026. You guys, any other comments? So, what did I do with it, all right? So, if we're all set with that, we'll move on to the, the road commissioner's report.
Now, we have, did Brett Blanchard didn't come, must be.
I don't see him.
So I'm assuming there's no sense discussing the complaint I mean, we can.
You know pretty much what I know right here.
Okay,
What was
we've got
presented
it.
to us. You have one too, I think, as a copy. So,
Steve, you wanna give us the lowdown on it?
Well, the lowdown on it is when I was blowing leaves on Lily Hill, shut the blower off when I got down towards the bottom, so I went to blow leaves on the person's porch. And when I turned around on 133, I turned the blower back on and went back to doing what I normally do, and I never stupidity, I guess. I turned the blower back on, went back to doing my business, and I blew rocks and dirt on his car.
And I guess, is anyone aware, was there any claims or
all I know is there's damage to his car, into his garage windows. He emailed into our online complaint form and never heard back. I'm just reading, I know exactly what you guys have here, so.
All right.
I'm not sure why that complaint didn't make it through to either the town clerk or to the website. He says he has photos.
Well, I guess the only thing, I've got questions, and it's hard to discuss them. I mean, I appreciate you giving us your input on it. It's without him here to answer any questions, it's hard to go any farther with it.
Well, I mean, I don't have an issue myself or Brad to reach out to him and you know.
Right.
Because I don't want to just drop it totally, but I think.
Yeah, but right now, I got that. So, yeah, no, if he wants to follow up, and then what the damages are, is there an insurance claim, or is it? The Bridge 7 maintenance agreement, I have not spoken with Adam Goodrow, I believe is the engineer on it, to find out what the engineer's estimates are on that, so I can't give the town the actual number this meeting. Advertising for road crew vacancy,
So
is that something you?
Oops, sorry, the number deal, we gonna try to have that for January?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they can give us an estimate by then.
Advertising the road crew vacancy. I had reached out to a lady at Indeed there and actually emailed, and I just to get information on what that might involve for the town if we chose to do something to try to advertise through that. And what she just said, basically, if the town wanted to pursue it, then you basically create an account, and under his employer, you can create an account as an employer, you use your credit card, which, and for the town of Danby, it'd be approximately $500 for a month. And what they do with that, you provide them obviously the job, is you go online, you create the account, you put the job description, all this other stuff, they'll work with you on that. And then it gets listed, and for that $500, you're, supposedly you're kind of promised to be within the top, the top pages of searches, right? So then halfway through the month, they'll call and discuss and see how the town feels it's working out for them, and then if it's not, then they'll try to tweak the job description or whatever they're doing to try to encourage more applicants or fine tune it to change the type of applicants you're getting. So that's $500 a month. They said they anticipate the town seeing, roughly 20 to 20-something applicants, but some of those are people that are just, clicking the button to, so, and my interest in reaching out to them was trying to find some way to reach people who are not reaching to fill the road position, because we're not, we haven't had a lot of success in filling this road position in some time. So, I just did that to see as an opportunity, and the board thinks it's $500.
Well, I think it's a great idea. It's just, I think we tried getting the clerk to do that for us in the past, and she struggled with it.
So, we have a town credit card, correct?
Do we have one still? Yeah.
So, either the town clerk or the town treasurer, whoever's responsible for the card, would have to create the account for the town of Danby, and then, if we want to do it.
So do we want to
And
maybe think about trying 3 months or something?
yeah, I'm open for discussion. I mean, you can try 3 months, you can do a month, and you can see how the month goes, and you can expand it. You can pay another $500, you don't have to do.
So I think 1 month, the problem would be is
Sure.
if we create it now, we're not going to discuss it
Yeah.
by the time it expires, so we should,
Okay.
and 2 is just an odd number, so I was thinking
Yeah.
that 3 would be,
Well, my personal opinion is I don't think we have a whole lot to lose. We haven't had a lot of success. And I know Pollitt has used it, and Pollitt, received a decent amount of candidates, correct? I think the town of Woodstock, I saw they had postings at one time. I think there's another, 1 or 2 other towns in Vermont had road crew positions posted through Indeed. So to me, it's worth trying. If you think 3 months,
I'll make the motion that we try using Indeed for the road crew listing for 3 months.
and so I guess somebody, I guess that'd be myself, would have to try to work with either Janice or Caitlin to try to get the account set up. And then the only thing I'd say to you guys, to make sure we have the job position, the one I have, see here, to make sure you guys are happy with what we have for the,
Job description?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think our job description has always been accurate for what we're looking for.
And that's at $500 a month?
it's $500 a month. Roughly, yeah. That's what is that the most recent?
Yep. You wanna look at it too?
Yes.
Greg, may I ask a question?
Yep.
Is there a limit to how many ads you can place at that $500 per month, or is it just the one ad?
You're only placing one road, you're my understanding from her was you're placing an ad for the road crew position for that $500. But so you're saying, can you put other jobs on there?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, like,
Just because it sounds like you may have an assistant clerk position open as well?
yes, but, yes, I don't know, I have to ask a question. To be honest with you, I didn't ask that, so I can't answer that.
Maybe they give a discount, or maybe it's for free, just a thought.
No, it's a good idea for paying for it, and they'll let you post more than one position.
Yeah.
I'll second Tom's motion.
So, is there any more discussion on it?
Nope, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I guess the only thing I'll say under discussion, you're gonna work with Caitlin to,
I mean, if she has a card, it's either her or Janice, so I'll reach out to her and Janice and see who I can get that's
she's got a credit card, and I'm sure
If you're willing, then,
She's got a brand new computer.
she's got a brand new computer.
Just the monitor certain place.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Is it- Oh, go ahead, sorry.
no, you can take the vote.
That's what I was gonna.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Nothing for old business. The last item I see under new business would be wording, well, it says wording for assistant clerk position advertisement. Which is interesting because I think it's already been advertised. It's on the town website.
Now, is this what's on the town website, what we've got printed out here?
Yes.
And I've got a question. Does our assistant clerk have to be a resident?
I don't, I'd have to look, but I don't believe so. I don't know why.
believe so. And the assistant was always,
No, it's just a question because any of the other, like the elected officials have to be residents.
Right.
right, but we're also in an odd position because the assistant was always appointed by the clerk, but now being a union position, I don't know, do we have a say in who gets hired at this point?
My understanding is no. When I tried to do a little bit of research before this meeting, because I don't really want to get in, it's very unusual to have this be a union position.
Right.
But it says in the law that the town clerk hires the assistant clerk.
I have Annette Smith raising her hand.
Go ahead.
Okay. She says assistant clerk does not have to be a resident.
Thank you. So that's just my understanding from doing trying to do some quick research before, was that the town clerk can choose her assistant clerk.
So,
But
if she gets to hire it, do we get to put out what we're looking for, or, I mean, I'm
well,
saying...
that was part of what, this is some of my confusion, because when that came out, when you saw this job description, I saw, like I told you, I saw a thing on Front Porch Forum that had this listed, and it was on the website, so it's already posted.
Yeah.
So then the question came down to compensation and benefits, because she is a union, or he or she, the next assistant clerk is a union position.
Yeah, and they would fall right in under the contract numbers.
Right, but the contract, so if a person, it says it's vacated and you bring a person onto, right, the pay has to be commensurate with the average for the experience and so on for the Vermont League and Cities of Towns, right?
That's the way it's worded for the road crew. The assistant clerk is a different category.
But there's not much in here. It
No,
doesn't
there's not.
it doesn't separate it much. It doesn't really separate it, other than just describes in that compensation, says the position is vacated. Bringing that person on, the compensation it has to be based upon
Right. experience
and the average for Vermont League and Cities and Towns. So, right now, under the current contract, assistant town clerk effective January 1st, 2026 would be $19.29 an hour. But once again, so if you bring someone on, someone gets appointed, or that has no experience, we have the ability.
Well, I guess, yeah, we have the ability to go with what other towns are paying. So,
Which is roughly, it's between $18 and $24 an hour. Once
okay,
again,
so I was gonna say, we're not really, we're discussing a mute point,
Right.
then we're gonna be
Yeah.
basically just going with the union contract.
I think the question that I have are benefits. So I'm trying to read this, understand this, and what benefits the assistant clerk is entitled to by the contract. Because it's not health insurance, I know that, because that's clearly stated in here that they are not eligible for health insurance. The only thing it says they don't get is health insurance.
So you're thinking retirement is available to them?
I'm also asking you guys who've been on this board a lot longer than me, and
Well, right now Colette's getting a retirement.
but, you know, all it says is they're not eligible for any health insurance benefits. It's all it clearly says.
What was our budget on our assistant for a year?
What you're all looking for, I'll let you look for it.
Never finding it.
$24,082.42.
So it looks like the clerk and assistant retirement was costing us $3,500 a year. So I would say that they're eligible for retirement.
Yeah,
I mean, and not health insurance.
right.
So that's
So then-
pretty clear.
So all it really comes down to is salary. And we just said, you know, it's,
Well, the limited hours, the problem we're gonna run into is you're not gonna get somebody that only gets limited, you know, that end up being,
it's 9 to 3, 4 days a week.
It's
the
24
assistant
hours a
doesn't,
week.
it's 24
I think
hours.
that's what Colette's works, is 24 hours.
Monday
Yeah.
through Thursday.
So, I mean, for the 24 hours a week, it's a pretty odd number. I would think we're gonna have trouble finding qualified people for,
You know, once again, I believe the town clerk sets the hours for the assistant clerk.
you're opening a whole can of worms.
I'm not
out.
opening anything.
I'm just saying that we're,
Our hands are tied.
are we, is there anything here that we need to, other than the fact that the clerk gets to hire and we're just gonna set the rate, is what you're looking for out of,
That's my understanding, that's what I saw from Janice, was looking for pay and benefits. And the only thing I could see is everything's pretty well laid out
well, the
here.
problem is, like anything, it's on quality of, I mean, if we got a young kid that came in that had no skills at all, you would probably try to give them
Less.
lower than somebody who
Right.
comes with a whole, you know, package of,
Right.
and so, I don't know. I mean, can we set the rate tonight, or do we have to? I mean,
I don't think
I
we
would
have to. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first, you know, really, this is, you know, kind of come about to me somewhat rapidly without a lot of,
Right, it would kinda hard to set a rate if we don't know what we're setting a rate the person for. Yeah.
May I ask a question? Do we have a date of when Colette's gonna be stepping down?
I was not given
She
anything.
mentioned March, but she said that she would be willing to stay to train somebody, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know how long, but
Just to set an initial time to make a
she's
decision.
mentioned March, yeah.
You know, I'm not myself 100%, you know, satisfied with how it all kind of,
Well, I think a lot of things have happened since our last contract on things that we found that, and I mean, with employees and this stuff, that we could probably go farther into, you know, writing into the union contract when it's opened again.
right.
The only thing that I don't want to do is make the union contract 700 pages long.
Yes.
But certain things like that there. Probably we could get some clarifications and maybe even on some temporary help. I mean,
Right.
we're going on tangents here, but,
Right.
yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with you. That union contract is far from the most perfect document in the world, but it has fit the bill for getting us to this point.
I don't want it to be 400 pages either. I just, when I look at this related to what's going on with assistant clerk, I don't, you know, it's,
And those are the things, when things like this come up, we should write them on a contract that is gonna be the one that we use when we go to negotiate, so that we can deal with it at the time. Because if you think I'm gonna remember this the next time the contract comes up, it's probably not gonna happen.
Try to get rid of a little gray area.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing is, everything can be tweaked.
so as far as the
it simple.
assistant town clerk, I mean, I think if we all agree the benefits are applicable outside of the health insurance, based on what you guys see in the contract as well, right?
And
That's-
you're saying, could we change them? And the problem is,
No, I'm not saying change anything, I just wanna say right now, because right now, you're stuck with what this contract is, so what that new assistant town clerk's gonna have for compensation or benefits is gonna be,
what's in the contract?
which is basically, it's everything outside of health insurance, right? Is
Right,
that how you see
which
it?
the only thing outside of health insurance is retirement.
And eyeglasses, I believe.
Work shoes?
I don't think they're listed on that, but I think the office is, I think her and Cliffy are both eligible for
Vision?
vision. But that's reimbursement for glasses, that doesn't cover exams.
So the only other piece, not the dead horse, but back to the wage, are we gonna, I can answer back and say we're not gonna, because she's Jan's looking for information on compensation. I mean, this is by this. And like you said, I agree with you 100%, you don't know who's gonna be there, how do you provide,
Well, that's the thing.
we can provide a range. I mean, we know it won't go any higher than that.
Yeah, it's going no higher, and you can't really probably go lower than 16.
Yeah, I mean,
What's minimum now?
You know what minimum is? I think it's
15.
15 and change.
Right.
Like 15, 13 or something.
Well, I think it's fair to say to her, hey, it's 16 to 19 something based on
16, yeah, 16 to
1929.
1929. Yeah,
Right now it's 1401.
It's 1401, I thought it was 15.
As of January 1st, it will increase to 1442.
So we can, I'm all right with, 16, I'm fine with that. So, you good with that?
I'm good with that.
So, I mean, we don't have to do it, I don't believe there's any kind of voting on that, right? We have to,
No, I would say, so she was just looking for guidance from us.
correct, after the posting, however that happens.
I mean,
So, I'll just make sure the information gets moved along. So,
all right.
There's no motion? Okay.
I don't think we really, because it's we're not exceeding what's in the contract, in my opinion. You know, so there's nothing really to pass on information.
And we're not making a formal offer to anybody, so there's no motion really there.
And we aren't gonna
We're
minus the-
just giving guidance, and I don't think we should have to do motion on guidance.
No.
Thank you.
All right. So, that's it, that's all that I had, so we can take a
I'll make the
motion
motion.
to adjourn, which is
I'll second it.
Yes.
motion by Steve Haynes and seconded by Tom Fuller. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.